is for anyone that have a little bit of money can start investing in the stock market. And when I say money, I'm not talking about loads of money. As long as you have, just a little bit that you can put in the stock market, maybe monthly, maybe weekly, or maybe as that whenever you can afford it, and just put it in there for the long term. So I preach long term, not the money that you need next week, not the money you need next month. I mean, you should be looking at minimum of say 3 years actually. And the first thing really that you need if you want to invest in the stock market is a brokerage account. So what a brokerage account? Brokerage account literally has to do with the middleman. So because you don't, in most cases, you don't go directly. Let's say you want to buy a share of Apple, you don't go directly to Apple and say, "Oh, I want a share from your company." You don't go directly like that. So you have, company that are middlemen. So these are what they are legally, registered to be able to perform that function too, and they are called stockbroker. So, and nowadays they're online. So we now live in a world where the internet makes a lot of things easy. So yeah, so the stockbroker whereby you just you can open it online and then you have a brokerage account. So the brokerage account example in the UK, I'm speaking from the UK example of a stockbroker is so it's trading 212. I use trading 212 actually. There are other ones, there are Vanguard, AJ Bells, Griff Lansdane, there are quite a number of them. So, but whichever one that you prefer, as long as it's registered with FCA. So FCA is Financial Conduct Authority. So this is a regulatory body in the UK that makes sure that every all your money is not, they're not going to run away with your money. So that's what that's the function of FCA. So and yeah, so you have to make sure that that particular broker is registered with FCA. So that gives some guarantee that your money is protected. So let's say if the bank go bankrupt, or the financial or the broker, if they go bankrupt or something like that, so your money is safe. So if they are registered with FCA, so you have to make sure that that is registered. The stockbroker, whichever stockbroker you want to go with, is registered with FCA. So, and once you are able to open account with a stockbroker, then nowadays with the internet, in most cases, you have the app. They tend to have a app. So via the app, I mean, not that you have to go to one office somewhere and sit there and and have to maybe sign some paperwork. No, not really everything. Most of the thing that you're going to do will be online. So and so once you get into the app, you're able to see, what are the company that that are available on that particular stockbroker website, where you can just, buy a share. So most cases it will be during when the market is open. So of course the price go up and down, but you're not with, I'm talking about investing for a long time. So because if you are thinking about, okay, the fluctuation of the prices, you're not really going to do anything. So, but if you're looking at it on a long time, so because consistently over a long period of time, the stock market has proven to go up. Of course, you have time when there is up and down. Maybe there's recession. Maybe there is something that just happened that just impact the price of stock, but you're not really looking at all those events. You just want to be in the market during the time when those things happen. So, and how to be in the market is to, open a stockbroker account, stock brokerage account, and just start. And if you are watching me, if you have any question, feel free to ask, and then I'll do my best to be able to answer your question if you have any question. So yeah, so you're not looking at, let's say for example, when there was that there was the United States taking over, getting involved in Venezuela. So I'm trying to mind the language I'm using so that to avoid any and saying anything that will trigger the algorithm in a negative way. So, but when the United States they got intervened in that, so that relate to crude oil. So which the 2 or 3 days after the following day that happened, that impacted the market. The market just went really up. So if you're already in the market during that period, that means your stock will appreciate. But you will get it down when it will come down, it come a little bit down again. So there's up and down, up and down, up and down. You're not to look at that. You have to just look at the long term. You have to look at the long term, and looking at it from the long term basis. That's where the investing. That's where it can make sense. The reality is that most people are not really going to be able to start their own company. It's a good thing to start a company, but there is also the statistics about company. I'm not using it to discourage anybody, but there's a statistics about company the number of companies that go bust within 1 year of starting, and then there's another one of within 2 years or within 5 years or within 10 years. So a lot of companies go start and they don't make it to be able to break even or to be able to make any money. So, but if you work, if you are an employee and you work, there's nothing really wrong about that. It's good that you see us sort of preaching about start business at the side. It's a good thing. So but reality is that if you have a job already, you can set a certain amount from your salary. You can set a certain amount and put it in the stock market for the long time, and then before you know it, so time goes really very quickly. I mean, I am really very close to 50 now. So I remember when I started when I started my career. Remember when I even arrived in the UK, and it was like it was like yesterday. So and time has gone. So that's a good thing. Whatever stage that you are now, you can literally start. You can start. You can put in £20 every month, and when you have your stockbroker, that you open the stockbroker account, you can set aside £20 every month. You can set a £50. It could be £100. It could be £200. I meant however much that you can afford, and put it in there every month. And over time, that we then grow, that we compound and grow. So it's not, and of course, there is something they always write, stockbrokers or any investment that you see really that has to do with financial services with money, they're always going to tell you, except if it's your bank account that you just literally, put your money in the bank account that is not investment. Maybe it's a bank account. Of course, if you put £100 there, £100 must be if you 10,000 there, 10,000 must be 10,000, and then of course they might have some sort of like maybe interest, a little bit interest on it. So, but what I'm saying is that when it comes to investing, there's always going to be, they will write something to say capital at risk. So what does that really mean? It just simply means that there's fluctuation in the market. There can be things that will happen that money might not be exactly the same amount that you put in there that you get. So, but I look at that only for the short time. Short time. If it's short time that you're looking at, yeah, so that's correct. But if you're looking at it for the long time, there has been that figure about the fact about the stock market that it goes up like something around 8% annually, but not every year. The 8% is not every year, so that's just like average over a period of time. Say average of 5 years or average of 20 years or something like that. So, but not average, not like it's exactly the same year that you have. Every year you have 8%. No, so you could even have a year where it's something like maybe 10% or even more, and then you could have some year where it's like maybe 5%. So, or you could have a year that is negative. So you start from January, and then the end of the year is actually negative. So, but if you are thinking about it for a long time, then you shouldn't worry about that. And then what are some of the stocks that are really good to be able to start for beginner? It's just those ETF that are specifically what scientific. I'm trying to see, is there somebody asking the question? No. Okay, I'm not sure whether that's a question or something. So, but so what are the type of stock? So these should be, I mean, for beginner friendly would be ETFs. So example is FTSE 100. So which is a ETF that is FTSE. So there are different companies that provide that. Vanguard, Invesco, which other one? So there are quite a number of companies that provide that have those in their product. So anything that's sort of like that FTSE 100, so which is just like 100 of the top 100 companies in the UK that have the high capital value in the market. So those are that would be a good one to start with. And then of course there is the S&P 500, so which is in America. So 500 of the biggest companies in America. So that's a good one as well to start with. And then of course, so there are got some ETFs as well. And if you're wondering what ETF is, stand for Exchange Traded Fund. So what that is that, say, as I mentioned, the FTSE 100. So you have various companies there, maybe HSBC, Barclays, all these big, and then not there'll be pharmaceutical, there'll be tech, there'll be, like maybe supermarket, Tesco, all these the biggest companies that do all that deal with, everyday product that we use, products and services that we use. These are the companies that are inside that fund, and you're investing in multiple companies at once. So which that should be a way to start, for beginner. So this is after you open a brokerage account, and then there's no the time limit that you can go in anytime. Well, during these market hours, so you can go in anytime during the market hour and just buy and just put the money and just buy into any of those funds. So, and if you had then putting in money regularly over a long period of time, then it will then end up to be that, it will be a good decision that you've made, especially for people who are young actually. So that would be something that you can, a good thing that you can actually do for yourself. Of course, leave a comment if you have any question. And yeah, so this is live, but of course you're watching the replay. Leave a comment and let me know what you if you have any question. And of course you can click on the like button as well to show some love so that the algorithm can show the video to other people. And anyway, thanks for watching and God bless.